I forget how to say how are you. Shoot. Internet, you picked your poison. I'm back. I'm sorry. Look, university is busy, okay? So, if you don't follow me on my other social medias, which you totally should, at NerdyDivaNikki on Twitter and nerdy_diva_Nikki on Instagram. Anyway, back to if you follow me. You would know I'm learning Korean. No, I'm not that far in advanced. I got bored one day. Let's look at songs on my phone and have Hangul in the title so that I can just get some practice writing. But no, this has actually been a lot of fun. And what's best about it is I can just totally screw with people. And I love it. First things first, at this point I can still get away with saying hello around my parents and they still get confused. I've been learning this since university started. I'm not taking it at university because they're not offering the language, which I'm like, why? And it's actually kind of great. So many of my friends are just down with it. I've got a friend who's already in the program at the university, so she can still finish it. And she's been, a great help, and she's been, really encouraging and told me, here's apps, here are sites that you can use, here's just, the best way to get started since you're teaching yourself. I've got two friends from church who are Korean, and the second they saw that I had this book, they were, ecstatic. And because the fact that the previously mentioned friend has been learning for a couple of years now, they were just, looking at it, finding, the Hangul, and then just, quizzing her on it. And it was the best. I've even gotten support from people I hardly know. Jun Korean being one of them. My mind went everywhere because June was streaming with Mike Bow, who I love both of those guys so much. And I asked June for advice, and while Mike was being like, yeah, I want to learn Korean too, dude, and saying that, actually, the BJ music video kinda helped him learn how to say "Dong say a day." Don't put that on my swear count, if it actually is a swear. And then, June was giving me, advice saying that he learned, some Chinese from listening to songs and watching shows, which, I get, but for me, the shows, they talk way too fast. And so I'm just kind of trying to focus on the subtitles, and so I'm just that's poorly translated from the few words I do know, that you spelled the name backwards. Why? Again, with the backwards name. Why do you spell their names backwards? And oppa does not mean honey. And then it was funny because I told June that I had the book. He was saying, Nikki, that's awesome. And then off camera, his girlfriend said, you don't need a book, just watch the shows. And I had to explain to his girlfriend why I needed the book. And that was hilarious. And Paige, Nikaylee, Emmy, they've all been mad supportive of this. And it's hilarious nowadays because I do have Hangul as a keyboard on my phone. And typing on that thing is a mess. I take 15 minutes to type out a single word some days. Especially because the keyboard is, more traditional looking, whereas everything in the books and, on social media, it's very boxy. The character for, N, it's just kind of a right angle, but then when you see it on the keyboard, it's a curved line. Or you have this one character, I think it's an M, that's just a box, but then on the keyboard it's a line, a weird little box, just not quite attached to it here, and then another line. So you can understand my frustration with trying to type that one out. But no, I partially learned it to understand the media that I love, partially because I'm just interested, and also the guilty pleasure, annoying the heck out of people. One thing that I find oddly humorous is when I deliberately do something for the sake of confusing someone else, and then it works. I'm pretty sure I finally tried actually typing out the word hello instead of just kind of starting and then using the middle key. And then I was like, look out world, Nikki's learning. And then Paige replied saying, great, now we have to translate BTS tweets and your tweets. And then when I was talking to her a while later, she was saying, now you can translate BTS tweets for us. And I was just saying, no, I'm not that good yet. There was one day when I just kind of walked into the room and said, "Hello, Mom," in Korean. Which, in case you want to test me and say, well, you don't really know what it is if you're not telling us. 안녕하세요, Oma. I said, "Hello, Mom," and then she just kind of looked at me for a few seconds and then said, "I love you too." To which I replied, I said, "Hello, Mom," and then she just said, "Oh." The look of disappointment when I say, "Hello, Mom," instead of "I love you." I'm still trying to figure out how to say "how are you," and that was actually something that I was irritated with all week, because one of the Korean friends from church, he taught me how to say it, and then said, "I'll ask you on Sunday next week." And I forgot it, like, the second he left. I looked it up and it just kind of came back, so I'll just have to do what I did when I learned how to say grandma and grandpa. Oh, I love just kind of messing with people. And it's funny because I know a lot of people have a tendency to be like, yeah, I want to learn swear words in your language. Like, what are some bad words so I can just, say something bad in a different language and not get in trouble for it? What's the point of that? Literally, in a lot of cases, you could learn something as simple as hello. And you say it, and people are gonna think you're being rude. I know that one particularly from experience. I'm also excited because I'm going to be getting more of a workbook so I can try and learn better than repeating lines and lines and lines and lines of characters. And also, I don't think that's very effective because a lot of the times I'm just kind of trying to memorize how to write them in class, so when it's kind of like when I used to draw in class, instead of drawing I would just kind of be like, line, 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 this means E, 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 E. But no, this has actually been so much fun. And one thing that's kind of hilarious is because the fact that when I hear something I don't recognize, my brain's been trying to interpret it as Korean because of the fact that I've been learning. The other day I heard people in the hall, obviously, speaking in French, and my brain was trying to interpret that as Korean. So my brain fumbles trying to, understand the different, dialects, because I know that, not everyone's speaking Korean, but because of the fact that that's what my brain's learning, my brain deliberately tries to interpret it as Korean. Although, to be perfectly honest, I've kind of just wanted to, meet someone, ENL students, so I can get help, and, maybe if I can help them with English, that'd be fun. But I don't know where to go. I'm not gonna talk to, I'm not gonna walk up to some random, Asian person in my school and be like, "Hi," hold up a checklist and be like, "Are you Korean?" And then just, have Google asking beside it. And then, "Is English not your first language? Do you need help learning English? Are you also willing to teach someone Korean? If so, new friend." It's not that simple. And my friend did say that there is kind of an app or a website where you can talk to someone who's learning English and, speak to them in the language that they're using, but I don't think I'm equipped enough for that yet, because, for me, it's just, I don't know how to, do anything besides say a few words. I don't know how the heck sentence structure works. I don't know how grammar works. I see the pages where they're like, "Oh, by the way, here's, exactly like this. The verb modifier." I have no idea how in the heck I'm supposed to be interpreting that right now. Especially because half the time, I still cannot freaking read some of the characters. This is a bit more complex, and I don't think I'm ready for that yet. So, we'll get there when we get there, and those have been my stories of 2 months of self-teaching Korean. If you enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe. In the meantime, I don't know which one to use because I still don't get this. You have 2 options for saying goodbye. Goodbye to one who is leaving, and goodbye to one who is staying. So I don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean. Another reason I'm not ready for that app yet. So, I'll just do the one who's leaving because you're going to be clicking off the video, so you're technically leaving. So, 안녕히 I'm not even gonna try that right now. Peace out.